All right, I'm back sooner than I thought I was. I worked out, because I'm a mathematical genius, that with over 500 challenges to get through, if I do one a week, I'll be 50 by the time I finish the existing challenges just from XLBI. So this one a week thing is not going to work. I don't know how frequently I'm going to do them, but I'm going to have to do them a bit quicker than I thought. So challenge two. And again, I have desperately tried this time to not even have a couple of minutes looking at this. I've just saved the file. This is the challenge. Provide a formula to sum the last three non-zeros values in this range. The last three non-zeros values are 28 and 16. Okay, yeah. And hence the answer should be 44. Okay, so you got your list. Uh, find a way to sum the numbers that aren't zero from the bottom. Is that right? Provide the last three digits. All right. So what do I know? I know I'm going to always try and do this kind of step by step initially, and maybe once I get 100 in, I'll just magically turn to all the crazy stuff straight away. But what do I know I could do? I could filter that by the range being greater than zero. Cool. Um, okay, so that's fine. So I could do take on that range and take the last three numbers, and I could just sum the last three numbers. Okay, so this will be a quick video, potentially. So what could I do? I could make that all one formula, couldn't I? So I could put take in there, minus three gets me to the three, sum that. How long have I been recording? 2 minutes? Okay, I'm gonna have to do something else. So I think that's the answer. I mean, it ignores the idea that the range might expand. I guess you could, I'm just going to do some of these bits just to fill a bit of time. If you made this a table and you called this numbers, I mean, you could pretty much do exactly the same thing, but obviously once you reference a table, you're going to get this structured referencing, which I think is really nice. What else do you get as a benefit? Well, if this range now increases, so let's say we had a 59 on the bottom, this would update because it's still going to look at that updated range. It's going to take the last three numbers that aren't zeros from the bottom. So I'm just thinking out loud that I would always try and turn that into a table if I was doing this in real life. That's nice and dynamic. Oh God, could I do anything else? Do I want to play around with a let? What if I did a let of number list? I don't know where I'm going with this. So let's do a number list of that. What if I tried to set up like an index column and use that, even though that's way more complex? So how could I set up an index list? I could use sequence to look at hang on, it's rows that I want. So I would want rows, a count of the rows, and the count is of the number list now that I've just set up as a variable in my let. So let me just, what am I doing? Does that just work? Let me pull that out. So index list. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, okay, that works. I appreciate I've added a number, but that works. That would not be, so how could I reverse that index list? If I wanted the one to be at the bottom, I could play around with the sequence and say, actually start with the max of rows number list. This is getting very messy and I haven't split this out into multiple lines, but I'm just trying to do something clever. What would the step be? The step would be -1. That didn't work. What have I done wrong there? Possibly one too many. Oh, there you go. It worked. So I've just switched my sequence to start with the max of the columns count, which at the moment is 10. And then I'm doing -1 steps, which is always going to get me back down to one. Still don't know what I'm going to do with that, but maybe I could then do an H stack of uh, index, list, and what? Number list. Number list. That would be my H stack. I haven't named it, so let's call this stack. And then I could return stack. Why is it not liking my, is that not the name, calculation name 3 stack? And then the calculate, oh, I haven't closed off the H stack. So I need to close that off. Then I could have my stack. And then I'm way overcomplicating this because then you'd probably just end up filtering on the zeros anyway, and then take only the items that have got an index of 1, 2, and 3. But I mean, I've basically done it there. Hopefully that's useful waffle, just seeing what I did with sequence to set up an index and then to reverse an index. I'm going to stop while I'm ahead. So that is challenge 2 done. Oh, do you know what I haven't done? I'm going to look at some of the answers. This will terrify me. What am I doing? That's not okay. So I need to go back in here. Challenge 2. Let's have a look. Oh, that's the challenge. I didn't want that. Hang on. I need the challenge link. Challenge link 2. Let's see what other people have done. This is the crazy bit for me, is when you look at this stuff and you see, oh, it's Rick again. What's Rick done? 2 years ago, sum, transpose, indirect. Oh, wow. Okay, indirect. Yeah, a lot. I didn't even think about large. I'm gonna have to unpick that. Victor Momo. Hello, Victor. You don't find Victor Momo. Victor Momo finds you. Well, I found you, Victor. Here we go. Some take. This is what I did. Or okay, so this was a let version. Okay, it's fine. Okay, cool. I've pretty much done. Okay, he had a slightly different formula in there, but I've pretty much done the same thing. Some take filter. Cool. Okay, so I've kind of hit what other people. I'm going to explore the use of large. That's going to take me a little bit of time just to get my head around, but I like the idea of using large. Somebody's used a drop, which I'm guessing is just going to kind of be set up with the reverse of what I did. What else? Some crazy stuff in here. This should be like a second part of every challenge. Oh my God, look. Wow. Frequency. All right, that's a job for another day. I'm going to stop there. There's some awesome solutions in here, as I think there will always be. I feel like I got to that pretty quickly. What did I use? Let's go back. I used filter and take. Nice and simple. I'm going to set that back. Let me just get rid of this number so it still looks like it's the right answer. There you go. 44, 44. I'm happy.